Welcome back.
We did
Everyone is
back,
dying.
We did jump back just a little bit. We were in the elevator at the last section, but I did crash.
Oh, you did?
It crashed 2 times when I went through that elevator.
I remember the only time I ever crashed in Underhell is before the patch, when you went from prologue to chapter 1.
I crashed 4 times within the same day.
Oh.
That must be unfortunate. I never crashed once in my whole playtime with Underhell.
Well, I mean, they did fix it shortly after launch, but I remember playing on launch and it was like, you know, it was a bit buggy, but they fixed it real quickly.
Wait, is the lift they get in randomized?
It is. They went in a different one this time.
It's a tiny little detail, but can't complain.
Yep.
God, acting out of breath is really fucking annoying.
I always imagined they kind of did a whole bunch of push-ups before doing it, and then they tried stressing themselves a little bit.
The only case I really know of that is the guy who was playing Dash in The Incredibles. Like, the guy directing the voice actors, like, made him run laps around the studio before he recorded his lines. Which, you know, as far as method voice acting goes, that's a fair way to go about it.
Right.
And this jams every lift.
Oh, we're really close to the end of the game.
Yeah. I really like this segment. Like, so much tension builds while you're going through the apartments and you just know the military, and then there's just this massive escape sequence, and it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, the end of Underhell is easily one of the greatest parts of the game.
Like, you feel like you're constantly on the run against something that could just wreck your shit if they got you in a corner.
Right. It also gave the game a sense of scale. Like, you start out in the mall, and now you're escaping the fucking military.
Oh, I love this part.
Not letting him check exactly.
This part is randomized. Sometimes there's people there, and sometimes there isn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't in my case. I had it pretty peaceful as far as random events go.
I think there was someone there for me.
I think what I'm learning from the fact that he was just lightly nudging with his feet while you're just flopping around kicking everything is that sometimes forceful isn't always the answer.
I just walked by.
And this is why he was the Secret Service agent or not, and you're not.
I'm just a SWAT guy.
I always love it when NPCs actually react to things that the player does like that.
I've been replaying Last of Us recently, and there is just a case where, like, NPCs just walk around trying to interact with the environment and they make no note of what you're doing. Like, there's one prescribed set piece where a character goes up to chop another zombie in the head because it's just caught in a wire. I shoot him in the head, he just chops it, and there's like a giant spurt of blood, but there's no acknowledgement.
I remember a part in The Last of Us where there's this one. It was part of a scripted event, but it was like right about the time that Joel teaches Ellie how to shoot, and the guy is just like, "Holy shit! This average Joe just fucking took out everyone." and then, you know, naturally the guy didn't believe him, which was I thought was hilarious. Because that's kind of what would happen. You know, it's like, now, come on, this one guy just took out hundreds of people? Are you fucking serious?
More games just need to acknowledge how fucking powerful a guy... Like, the Arkham games did it nicely. You take out more guys in stealth, they start shitting themselves.
Right, right.
Also, I shot one of those guys, and they were both facing each other. The other one didn't flinch.
Okay, so I was remembering incorrectly, I think, because the part that I remembered was where those guys were, that you just shot with a crossbow.
Yeah, I think they're always there specifically.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it was randomized though.
Okay, so those two guys that you saved from the section earlier where they could die, didn't matter. They die anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everyone you save dies.
Sometimes you just got to learn that in life. You can't save them all.
Yeah.
This looks like he's got a sly smile about this.
Well, it's Carl Pilkington. What do you expect?
Ah, of course.
He's loving this. He's loving the idea that everyone's dying except him.
I don't think Carl would be in favour of that.
Probably not.
Like, Carl is chaotic good at worst. Well, actually, no, he's chaotic neutral.
Oh, it's this scene.
I love this scene.
Yeah.
That's so naive of him to say. Is that sunlight?
This part is great. You could see it right there. Oh, that stupid smile.
He's such a cheesy looking villain, like, compared to everything we've seen up until this point in the game.
And he even has his hair done up as well.
Like, electro-teleportation powers included, he looks cheesy as shit. Oh dear.
When I first saw this, I never saw the explosives. I actually thought he was being serious, that he had rocket launcher glasses.
Oh, fuck. I wanted to get... See, the reason I didn't finish the Underhell trailer I was working on is because I wanted to get this shot without subtitles or a HUD.
Well, it's not hard to do at all.
Yeah, you're right. I should really replay it, but I can't be asked to. I've got Warframe taking up most of my time, and I want to finish Hyperdimension Neptunia, and, you know...
Fucking weeb.
Oh, fuck you.
And, you know, I'd do it for you, but Mountain Blade, I started another fucking game on another fucking mod. This time Gecko Kujo mod, as far as weeb shit goes.
Also, I love how just random things are exploding.
I had to I had to really get used to Hyperdimension's like high-pitched voices because they're grating, like really grating at first, but the gameplay itself is very enjoyable, so...
Isn't that the one where all the different characters are different fucking consoles and...
Yes, it is. It just came out on PC, and it is really good.
Don't forget the jiggle physics.
Oh, of course.
I went with Brian and Junior. There was, like...
Yeah, I went with Brian
easy
and
choice
Junior
for
as
me.
well. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Lawley also went with Brian and Junior, and this is just him exploring the other route.
No, I did both. Like,
okay.
not in this recording, but I did do both. Like, and I know what the outcome of each are.
Alright. But this is news. This is new to me.
But yeah, I know that in Hyperdimension Neptunia, there's fucking individual novel parts. The characters have jiggle physics.
Of course. I mean, you know, clearly I am not the target audience for that game, but I enjoy it anyway.
Well, you gotta get the obsessive fan like market in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the neckbeard audience. They buy that shit like hotcakes. Well, I mean, you know, so do I, because I want to support, like, you know, Jap games on Steam, because right now they just don't, you know, them coming to PC more often is kind of a big deal, and I want to see more of that.
WMan, just accept it. You actually are a neckbeard. You just shaved it.
Look, the Japanese are slowly realizing, that PCs do more than just spreadsheets.
Right.
And there should be behavior that's encouraged so that we might get Vanquish on PC one day.
We need to emphasize that to the people who make the fucking operating systems for it.
Yeah. See, I heard that, like, NISA, or NISA, however you, like, say it, said that PC was a dead market to Idea Factory, the developers, I think, of
They need to shut up and fucking make a whole bunch of money by doing it anyways.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Neptunia was like on the top sellers list for a few days, actually, like in the top 10. And it was in the top 3 for like 3 days.
I know it's a cynical standpoint, but do you think that, like as well, Valkyria Chronicles did really well on PC, but do you think that's also selling on the novelty value of, hey, a Japanese game is finally out on Steam, and as it becomes more, like, common, it's going to stop selling quite as well?
I doubt that.
You know what? I totally agree with you on that point, but that doesn't mean that it's not viable to release a Japanese game on PC.
True.
I mean,
like, the fact that Valkyria Chronicles sold anyway proves the market is there.
right.
Like, that one leg just staying behind.
Fuck. Explosions in this game are great.
That explosion was completely an accident. I was trying to drop the crossbow because I ran out of ammo, so I accidentally threw a grenade.
I can't remember how much I used grenades in this game.
I very rarely use them.
Anyway, on the subject that we were talking about, I think that if a game is good and has a big enough cult following, it will sell. I mean, System Shock, you know System Shock, they didn't, they only sold like 60,000 copies, I think, back in the day, but since then it's gained a cult following, and it's had time to have its fan base build. And
that pretty much is the way of cult games. They do bad on release and then build as word of mouth spreads.
See, that's kind of what happened with Hyperdimension, because it is one of those games that has a cult following, and you know, there was time for it to build in its fan base, and then when it came out on Steam, it sold a shit ton.
Actually, speaking of cult followings, I think It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was originally a cult following show.
Interesting.
As far as it goes, like, the only cult thing I can say to be, like, not associated with, but knowledgeable of, is the Postal fan base.
Right,
I'm a part of the more obvious
that's
one.
another thing.
Yeah, I'm a part of the more obvious gameplay base.
Yeah, you've got the space station base.
People are saying I'm the king of the fucking space station base now.
Ain't it grand to have fame? That would terrify me.
I don't like being famous. People think I'm a social justice warrior now.
How do you fucking get... What?
Yeah.
It's the kind of a problem with both sides in every argument, is that they're gonna claim people.
Oh, wait a moment, though. Based on what? What?
The actions of the admins on my station, they think I'm specifically a social justice warrior, and that's because they got banned for doing stupid shit.
You see, this is why I'd never want to fucking be in a moderator position on anything.
Neither do I. That's why I hired people to do it for me, and I don't pay them.
Did I talk about the time that I was in a admin on a Gary's Mod server called Grigori's Funland once?
That's how I met you.
You two have talked about Grigori's Funland before.
Oh, it was great. It was a server with the perfect amount of content and the right community. It was basically the stars aligning to create something great. But then, when the admins became bored, and we got super paranoid about people causing trouble on the server, so we wanted to look for any excuse to use our moderation powers. And that was a good life lesson, because pretty soon we had banned everyone who had caused even the slightest bit of trouble, and nobody was coming to our server anymore. And eventually the community died out. So that's a life lesson, people. If you ever get a moderator position, remember that with great power comes great responsibility. You know, it's not just because you have the ability to fuck around with someone doesn't mean that you should.
Nah, you should.
And the lesson you've got to take away with Lawley's thing is, whenever you commit an action in that regard, the guy on top is also going to get a degree of the blame, even if you haven't gone through him for your decision-making.
Exactly.
Yeah, what happened was that brought this up was some guy thought I was a social justice warrior for getting him banned because he tried ERPing with someone.
Well,
I just want to draw it back to gameplay for a second and say that once I got this gun, I never wanted to swap out.
yeah, it's a shame there's not much ammo for it.
Yeah, but the G36, I fucking love G36s. And as a gun, it's sadly underrepresented. underrepresented.
Right.
We talked, and we kind of skipped it, but his AI, I've not seen too many guards whose AI just kind of fucked up so hard that it turned into stealth mode mid-gunfight.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
But, you know, forgetfulness got punished. So I never went this route. I find this looks like a more interesting gunfight to me than the kind of pipe room that you get.
It's not a gunfight. You just get surrounded by fuckloads of zombies in the dark.
You either pick the better characters or the better map.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun fact about picking either of the people. You can still hear the conversation on the different ends. Like,
right.
And that's what I liked.
Yeah. You know, Underhell is great about that kind of shit.
That's just the right amount of replay value. Like, you want to see what's on this path? You still know what's going on with these characters, just removed from some of the context.
Right.
On that note, Life is Strange. I played the first hour, and it's actually pretty...
no.
It's decent. Like... Like, I don't know what the issue is.
I'm still
Look,
pissed off.
I understand. Like, I won't judge it because, for one, I haven't played it yet. But to me, it looks like one of those preachy games, and I'm not that into that.
Snake, I'm still pissed off. Newnham stole fucking you from the commentary I wanted to do. I wanted to do the commentary with you on that.
Oh, I'm not doing a commentary on that anyway. After playing, I was like, okay, I've had enough of recording over Telltale stuff anyway, and besides, we're doing Minecraft later on in the year and possibly Game of Thrones.
No, it was the Minecraft thing that pissed me off.
Oh, right,
you know,
okay.
At the very least, Life is Strange looks like it has gameplay, you know, unlike Gone Home, you know?
It does something that I wanted in every Telltale game, and it weaves it into the narrative, which is I wanted to see both of my actions and have an ability to quickly go back and see what I could have done, but it still does the clever thing of you can see the immediate repercussions of your actions, but the long-term stuff, you're going to have to live with that. Time travel isn't going to help you that much.
Yes, and you know, in that sense, it sounds like a pretty solid game. I mean, that's a lot more than I can say about a lot of other things in the same vein as Life is Strange, so I can't really rag on it that much, obviously. I mean, especially since I haven't played it, you know?
Edgy high school girl will remember that.
She's not edgy, though, is the thing. Like, sure, her hairstyle is alternative, at least. I'm just gonna stop now. I'm just gonna walk away from this conversation.
Anytime I see someone with different styled hair that's like colored, it pisses me off.
There's a reason for that. Usually people with dyed hair are fucking bonkers. Seriously, I'm not joking. That is not a joke. It comes from the sense that they want to be someone else than who they are. So with that comes a certain level of insecurity. You know what I mean?
I don't see that. Maybe it's because I just
totally
don't.
See
maybe it's
that.
because I don't think my full subscribed philosophy, like, people live their fucking lives and I don't care. But it's also the fact that the friendliest guy I ever met was a guy who was like 90% tattooed, wore these contact lenses and made his eyes look huge. Absolute nicest bloke. Didn't even draw attention to it.
That's not really the same as dyeing your hair. You know, it's complicated and it's based on the fucking stereotype. But from my personal experience, people with dyed hair have issues. I'm not. I don't mean to sound like I'm ousting like any group of people as like each other or anything, but that's honestly my experience with people with dyed hair.
I have seen very few people who can actually rock the hair dyed color look.
One of my best friends growing up, for some reason, dyed his hair red, and he was like natural blonde.
That must have been weird.
He was drunk though.
Oh.
But it didn't explain the second time that happened.
At some point, I want to do a bet with someone, and whoever loses the bet has to fucking dye their hair pink for an entire month.
You know, I think I could pull that off.
What?
Also, I had the easiest time with this boss fight, but I think I must have been doing it wrong, so it just went on forever.
Because it's not a boss fight.
Well, okay.
You know, don't mind him. He's just a fucking jet inside of a fucking, like...
Missile silo.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta give his piloting skills credit, at the very least. Like, you don't have to like the guy, but you gotta respect it.
How did you think that would work out, Wally? Did you think that the bullets would bounce off of you, Superman style?
Speaking of respect, you've got to respect Lawley's bravado. Yeah. Did you say that just so you could talk about Zelda?
Oh yeah, Link from the CDI games is in Hyrule Warriors apparently.
Well, I meant the TV show, but
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything interesting to say about that. Like, aside from the quote, it's like Game of Thrones for the whole family, which, depending on what your family's into, Game of Thrones could already be for the whole family.
You know what? I still haven't seen Game of Thrones.
I've read, like, up until the last 300 pages of the most recent book. And that was a good read. I enjoyed it. It's kind of schlocky fiction here and there, but fuck, it's fun, it's satisfying, and it throws you a few curveballs.
Is it true that someone gets fucked in every episode?
I've only seen the first season, but I don't believe that's true.
I shot the cipher to see if I can get Ben pissed off again. Didn't work.
Like, I'd recommend the books over the TV show because, as all things are, the TV show cuts out a few things that are really cool in the books.
Mm.
But aside from that, it's pretty faithful. Oh, okay. He's a boss fight in the same sense that Fortune from Metal Gear Solid 2 is a boss fight.
Wow. You know, it's a good thing that those walls were pretty sturdy.
Also, I love how he just gets shot without actually being able to get out.
Oh, part's over. Next time, guys.